What do you think about this NBA Finals and where we're at right now with it?
I think I'm getting roasted a little bit right now. You're getting roasted a lot.
Yeah.
Um, no, all
Should
jokes
I be
aside,
though?
Boston has not played. Huh?
Should I be though?
No. Well, Boston hasn't played well,
No. I mean, you know what?
and
You would think that Steph is out here playing lights out the way that, people are so happy that, I mean, they're acting like he put the team on his back. I think that that's one of the things that Jeff Van Gundy said. That's
should I
not
be
the
though?
case. Because, all right, let's just let's go to Friday's game, right?
Right.
Game four when they evened it up. And that's the one where Jordan Poole hit that backboard shot, right? Or was that the other night? That was actually game five. But let's go back to Friday, right? Steph was on. He played a really good game. People talking about all time great performance, this, that, and the third. He made two field goals in the fourth quarter, and the rest of his 6 points were from the line. And that's the best he did all fourth quarter leading up to that point. These were our standards are. I mean, through four games, you got
They're up.
16 points in the fourth quarter. I think I was just highlighting to you or somebody I was talking to in the flu game. Again, bringing up Jordan. He had 15 in that fourth quarter because people couldn't get going.
Comparing people to Michael Jordan in the fourth quarter of NBA Finals games isn't fair to the other player,
When we
and
talk
I
about
said
people being
that.
top 10, yes, it is. I mean, I've seen Tim Duncan memes all around this playoffs, and they're talking about the stats that he's had in his finals appearances, and it's like this. Look, I'll just put it this way: as a person who is a fan of Steph, and as a fan of basketball, I'm not entertained by anybody's performances this finals. And you know what? The most entertained I've been is honestly the consistency of Andrew Wiggins and the defense that he's playing and the way he's making it happen on both ends of the court. I don't care what the numbers say, man. I'm sorry, because the numbers are lying to us.
So, although Boston has not played well, it's not like Golden State has played exceptionally well. They
Right.
haven't. What I picked Boston in seven. I'm sticking with my pick. But right now, Golden State is up 3-2. Game six is tomorrow. And if all things were to be considered, Steph would be the MVP of this series. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what I do think is a little troubling about the fact that people would say Steph is the MVP of this series is that, well, I think Andrew Wiggins is playing way better than Iguodala did defensively against the star player, and
Definitely.
definitely offensively and rebounding wise.
Definitely.
And so that's the part about it that's problematic about Steph getting the MVP is that somebody who actually played lesser than the way Wiggins is playing is being playing the MVP. And Steph isn't too far off from the way he played in that finals because I think he averaged like 25, 26 in that finals with the game five dud that he played. His game was a dud. I think his average in the finals, this finals, is now down to 31. You know,
He had
so
well he scored what 16 the other night and went 0 for 9 from 3. Shout out to 007 in the room. He said game 6 Clay. Uh-oh. Steph is
yeah.
MVP, him or else or anyone else besides Wiggins performing well. Don't look now, but Steph now has 4 rings like LeBron. Wow. And see there's the issue when you start
See, that's
comparing
very
Steph to
problematic.
LeBron.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about, guys. Now,
that's
anything that y'all have seen in this finals or any other finals, because I guess we could technically say this is his best finals, right? As an individual and leading the team.
I mean,
Anything in this finals show you any resemblance of what we've seen LeBron James like in a winning effort in the finals?
so here's what I mean when I say respectively. So if we were to put these performances on a scale, it's like, do I think that Steph Curry is playing better than Giannis played last year? No. KD during Golden State's back-to-back championship run? Well, no. LeBron in, I'd say, five of the 10 finals he's played in? Well, no. Any
What
of the
about
finals?
Kawhi?
Huh?
What about Kawhi?
I mean, no, I think he's playing like to the level that Kawhi played to. Yeah, I would put that at a Kawhi comparable level. Yeah.
Tabanat says Steph ain't top 10. Everyone in the top 10 has had two-way ability at some point in their career. That alone discounts him. Is Steph 12 to 15? Maybe. And I think that's fair. I mean, when you don't have the ability to change the game on both ends of the court, yeah, we can't put you over some people who were able to do that. I mean, it's just what it is.
Terminator's up in here, finally.
Terminator, we're late. Terminator's late, so it's all good. What up, Terminator 2? We're going to get into a lot today.
I mean, I want you to keep in mind that it's like this series is 3-2 and it's been pretty nip and tuck. And Steph has had a great game, and I don't even think I've seen Jason Tatum have an above-average game yet.
Yeah, so you know what? That's the problematic part. If Boston somehow wins, whoever is going to bring them out of this funk, like let's just say they win the next two games, whoever is the MVP of those two games is probably going to be the Finals MVP because they don't have a definitive Finals MVP right now. Diego with the super chat says, "What up, Coop and Mike? I sent a small catalog of I sent a small catalog of K Reno about a month ago to Coop on Twitter. I want to know what's Coop's thoughts on K Reno. People love K Reno, man. Like, what's your thoughts on K Reno?"
I'm not like enthralled like everybody else was, but it was pretty dope. There's some dope stuff. Yeah.
He's kind of like a Tech Nine-ish, right?
Yeah.
Where he has his fan base. He's a dope MC, and the people that love him love him. Any predictions for tomorrow's game?
Well, here's what I predict. I predict if Golden State wins, Boston needs to go just hire a dribbling coach. Like, these niggas can't dribble. That's the problem.
That's a big problem.
If they would actually keep the ball in front of them long enough to pass it and set up the offense, this series would be over because Boston would have won 4-1, but because these niggas can't dribble.
You know, it's crazy, man. It's really wild to see guys that are on that level and that have made
all-star.
It this far, and they're
all-star players. Like Jaylen Brown had a sequence in the fourth quarter of the last game where I literally watched him come up the court and do the same exact move at the same spot on the floor, the same exact way, and lose the damn ball the same way. And Jason Tatum had a play where Steph just literally just snatched the ball. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, how does Steph Curry snatching the ball from you? Like you have a 7-footer's wingspan. You're 6'8", 6'9". Like, what is going on?
Wow.
Control the ball.
So what do you think is going to happen in Game 6?
I think their coach is probably very, very angry. He's a very large man, and he's probably very angry. I picked Boston in 7. I think Jason Tatum actually finally has a game that's comparable of his talent. So I'm going to say he goes for 35 and 10 and 5, and they push it to a Game 7. And I just don't know what's going to happen in Game 7. I think it really is a toss-up. I think any Game 7 truly is a toss-up when you get to that point.
Right.
But what history has taught us is that when you play a team 6 games and it's nip and tuck, when you get to that last game, it really comes down to who has the fresher legs.
Yep. I agree with that. I said this in the beginning. I said Golden State doesn't want to go 7.
Do you remember
just with their style of play?
Well, do you remember the not just the Boston Lakers, the last rivalry series? Well, LA didn't win. Kobe went 6 for 24 in that Game 7. They won.
Ray didn't shoot well either.
Huh?
I said Ray didn't shoot well either.
Yeah, but KG and Rashid, they were old, Mike. Their legs were done, and you could tell. And Kendrick Perkins was hurt, so their whole front line was lagging. The offensive rebounds, I think LA had 18 offensive rebounds that game. It was the most that they had all series. They had the fresher legs.
It's a boxing match.
Go back to that San Antonio-Detroit series, Game 7. Literally, in the last 3 minutes of the game, you can see where Tim Duncan is just a little bit fresher than Rasheed Wallace, and that was the difference in the series. It was literally difference in the ring. Was Rasheed made one foolish play and Tim Duncan didn't because he was fresher in his mind.
LP with the super chat says, if he wins this, he's scratching the top 10. Bird didn't have good D either. Steph's spacing is a bigger threat than most people's D. He's always been the second best point guard. He will always be the second best point guard ever. See, problematic. I'm gonna say something about that too before we move on. 007 says we could talk separation. Michael Jordan never let any others get rings in his era of dominance. He was the alpha. Steph is getting to 5. It's problematic. What say you? Nas the Goat says Magic and Bird weren't great defenders, and they're top 10. Stop it. All those top 10 players have had horrible games in the finals, including Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan had
Yes.
horrible games in the finals?
I mean, he's had less than stellar finals games before.
He ever scored 16 points in the finals? I want y'all to find that.
I didn't say that.
He ever scored?
I said less than stellar. Less than stellar for Michael Jordan in the finals is like scoring less than 30, and so that happened in the finals. He averaged 25, 26 in the Seattle series as a whole. Like he had a couple of less than stellar games in that series.
Okay. Matt Max with the super chat says, Bird made 2 defensive teams more.
Correct.
Right.
I thought he actually made more than that. I thought it was 3.
Probably.
I thought Bird actually made 3 defensive teams, but I could
Nas
be
the
wrong.
Goat says Warriors in 6. This is what I do want to say about Steph being the second best point guard of all time. We talked about point guards in length last episode and their importance. That's the issue that Boston's having right now. They have no point guard. And see, this combo guard, people playing point guard in the combo guard situation, this is what you have when those combo guards are the point guard and you don't have a point forward to bail you out of that situation. If Boston had a legitimate point guard, someone like, let's just say, what's his name? He used to play for the Hawks. He was there. You know what I'm talking about?
You said point guard in Atlanta Hawks, so it's like
yeah. No, the guy that was there. What is his name? Somebody help me in the chat. He was German. He had the little thing in his head or whatnot.
Schroeder.
Yeah, Schroeder. If Boston had a Schroeder out there, and I know that Marcus Smart, Defensive Player of the Year, and that's awesome. But as far as being able to, the issues that you're talking about are problematic in their direct reflection of them not having a point guard. Because
Schroeder is not a pass-first point guard, Mike. He is a point guard that wants to get his money and get his cash and get to the hole and get buckets. He sets people up by way of when he can't get his shot off. Now, how about this? If you were to even give me Rajon Rondo from like 2 years ago on the Lakers, the series would be different. Exactly. So if you're saying a Rondo, a Chris Paul, oh, of course.
Yeah, because these guys wouldn't have to go out there dribble so much. It's really painful to me to watch Marcus Smart try to control the offense where he's like dribbling recklessly and driving and then just throwing a crazy pass. Like, you know what I mean? That's the problem.
I get what you're saying, but Schroeder's not the answer.
Okay.
Schroeder's not the answer.
All right, throw that out. I'm just saying somebody who can actually play the position.
Somebody who's going to set up the offense and put those guys in the best position to succeed.
And that's why I took the position that I took last year when we talk about actually playing the point guard position. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. And I don't think we could disregard or just totally dismiss those traditional roles that point guards have in the game. Because if more point guards are starting to look like the combo guards, the game all around is in trouble. And it's going to look like this, and it's going to look sloppy. And we having that issue on both sides here.
No, that's why I highlight Isaiah Thomas so much in the season where he had 21 points and 14 assists. As in, like, no, I played point guard, distribute, special type of stuff, because it's really hard to be the type of player that can literally go get 30, 40 points at will, but still have the frame of mind to set other people up for success.
I was watching The Last Dance today and yesterday because, I've been just searching for some great basketball since I'm not getting any in the NBA Finals. And Jordan was like, as much as I hate his guts, Isaiah's the second best point guard I ever seen.
Period.
And so, that is what it is. The talent's what it is.
I bet you if you were to ask him that right now, even with everything Steph's doing, he would still say that probably.
Steph's not a
He'd be
point
like,
guard. I'm
he'd be
sorry.
like, you've seen Steph. What do you think about Isaiah at number 2? So he'd be like, hey, I know what I said. Like,
I respect the point guard position so much, and being a floor general, and what I've seen people like Jason Kidd be able to do, even if the stat sheets didn't reflect it. I just can't wrap my mind to say that Steph is a top 3 point guard. That I can't do. You know what I'm saying? Like, what all that position entails, he doesn't even do most of the time for his team. Blue Collar Hustle with the super chat. He says, did y'all see the trailer for Supreme Team documentary directed by Nas that's premiering July 8th on Showtime? If so, what were your thoughts? That was the one with Ghost in them, right?
I haven't seen it.
Okay, 007. We're going to check that out. 007 says Steph is getting to 5 rings. Hurts LeBron's legacy. Man. LP says MJ went 6 for 22 in Game 5 versus the Sonics. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Pulling out stats. LP says...
over the Sonic series, he didn't play well.
LP says Steph will have more MVPs, all first team chips, and tie the finals MVP lead the league in steals, and more times than the scoring title than Isaiah Thomas. Jay Short says Mike was out there being guarded by Hershey Hawkins, Byron Russell, and Dan Marley. All facts.
What about when he beat Clyde Drexler, though?
Yeah, he did the same thing to Clyde. That was in the documentary, too. And you know what Michael said? Michael said, what did he say? He said, at that point, he wasn't on my level, or something he said like that. And it was hilarious because it was true. And everybody had always looked at Clyde Drexler as the second best shooting guard at that time. And he was. He was the guy that was picked a year before Jordan. And the reason why the Blazers didn't pick Jordan is because they had Clyde Drexler. Understandably so. But yes, he did that to Clyde Drexler too. One of the greatest shooting guards of all time.
I mean,
I want to ask you guys though, honestly, and not to cut you off, Coop, and I hear people say shit like that. Who do y'all really envision actually stopping Michael Jordan? Y'all did watch him play, right? Y'all do know that he had a 48-inch vertical, and y'all do know that most of the time, and that doesn't change with the times or whatever, he's jumping up. You jump after him, you're coming down, he's still going up. That's just athleticism that is once in a lifetime. So who do y'all see actually guarding him?
No, I'm going to tell you the truly hilarious statement about all that is the fact saying, listen to what Jay Short is saying. Mike was out here being guarded by Hersey Hawkins, Byron Russell, and Dan Marley. No, he wasn't. Mike spent his entire career with 2 to 3 people coming at him. What the hell were you watching?
Right.
How do you think John Paxson and Steve Kerr ended up open in the finals exactly?
Exactly. You seen that footage of him and the Bad Boys where he's getting thrown across the floor? Because Dumars wasn't guarding him. It was Dumars, Rodman, Lambert.
No, Mike, they literally had a barricade. It's like Dumars took the front line, Rodman took the second line of defense, and then like James Edwards and John Sally and Bill Lambert took the back line.
Exactly.
It was literally like stacked like an NFL defense.
That was the plan. LP also says, we don't ask any other point guard to do what we ask Steph. What does he do in direct passing? I'm sorry, what he doesn't do in direct passing, he makes up for in spacing on the floor and drawing the double. That's more of a shooting guard thing. To be honest with you, Mad Max says Steph pretty much accomplished what Bron did in half the time. So y'all got to drop LaFraud down, LOL. Overrated player, that's why people think Steph is top 10. Because people have Bron top 2. When he's really like 9 through 10. Listen, man, I think we do have to... I disagree with that. This is the thing, man. LeBron James hasn't had the front office that Steph Curry's been blessed with. And, again, that's no knock to Steph. But when you have an organization that's making moves, drafting like they do, acquiring like they do, it's a little different. And they got a system. And, I mean, it is what it is.
So I want people to understand something. Steph Curry, I know he looks young, but he's 34, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He's actually older than Kevin Durant.
Is he 34 now? Dang.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Wow.
And so this whole half the time thing, or people acting like Steph just crept up, it's like, no, like Steph's been here. Steph played 3 years of college ball, and he got drafted the year after Durant did. That was 2008, right?
Yep.
So we're in 22. So he's been in the league for over a decade, like 12 years, right?
He's been in the league for a minute.
So he didn't just pop up. He's been in the league for 12 years.
Ryan Gillum says, you guys should make a 5-track collaboration EP for us one day. Yeah, we'll do that. I hadn't rapped in a minute, man. I was actually thinking about putting up one of my songs, the other day, but I just been so busy. Clayton is Sleep says, showing some love, keep it up, y'all. I second Ryan. It would be cool to hear you guys throw something together. We appreciate that. Okay, well, shit, with all that momentum and positive energy, we'll get something out there. We're working on a few big things. LP says, nobody. MJ beat Magic, Bad Boys, Knicks, Pacers, Shaq, Penny, Kemp, and Gary Payton. Malone and Stockton. 86 Celtics, Heat, and what's that? Alonzo and Tim Hardaway. I think Michael beat so many people. Him and
Take
Pippen.
that 86 Celtics off.
Right. That didn't happen.
Take that
off. Mike and Pippen beat so many people. I think we just take it for granted.
I mean, they did beat about 20 Hall of Famers on their run.
They did.
They really did.
Incredible Hall of Famers too. And unfortunately, some of those Hall of Famers didn't get credentialized because they were just so great. Right. And again, we talk about Barkley not, having a championship, man. Barkley played his ass off in that finals.
Barkley was the second best player on the floor in that finals, and Scottie Pippen, that was probably Scottie's best finals, and Barkley was the second best player on the floor.
Jordan averaged 43 in that series.
No, Mike, I don't think people understand.
He averaged 43. And, and what people got to understand, too.
He had to.
Well, other thing people need to understand, too, that whole gambling stuff was going on at that time. So with all those distractions and with the media coming, because a lot of people who weren't around then don't remember or don't really know, the media was coming in Michael Jordan's head. They weren't out here, making excuses for him. They were actually trying to insinuate that he was possibly betting on NBA games. And they were coming hard at Jordan. And even in the midst of all of that, he averaged 43 in that 6-game series.
No, he had to average 43. Mike, that Phoenix Suns team is one of the best teams to never win an NBA championship.
I agree with you. I agree. That was a really good team.
They were loaded. They had about 6 or 7 guys that could give you 20 on any given game, like Oliver Miller, Dan Marley, Kevin Johnson, Charles Barkley. Didn't Elliot Sox Perry, was he on that team?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
What's his name?
They had a bunch of players. Yeah. Cedric Ceballos is on that team, I think. Yeah, they were heavy, and they had Barkley on top of all of that. No, he needed to score 43 points. They were running people out the gym that year.
Ryan Gillum says, who would you guys say is the best point guard today?
Point guard? If we're still just talking pure, if we're talking point guard the way Mike is disseminating, like that term, then it would still be Chris Paul, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. I think that Damian Lillard's a good combination of both, but
I think when I don't know, I love Dame and I love his game, and it's just like I would love to see him play with somebody else of his caliber, to see what his floor general game is truly like. It was beautiful watching him play with Durant in the Olympics. I would love to see that actually in real life. Hint, Brooklyn Nets. Hint, Brooklyn Nets.
Mad Max with the super chat says, LOL,
Bron to the woods.
Mad Max with the super chat says, LOL, Bron made super teams and lost with super teams. Laughing my ass off. Steph had a real dynasty. I'm not talking Steph over Bron, but this Bron is top 2 has to stop. I mean, Bron's stats are really tough to refute. Got another super chat here. Says, Zeke was never a top 5 player in his era, ever. No MVPs, Only one Finals MVP. Steph is a greater player. Forget point guard. Blue Collar Hustler says a 5-track EP is a great idea. Want to hear Coop rap about turning down a $150,000 deal.
Yeah.
You got something to say about Zeke not being the better player, right?
I mean, that's just false. Because, I mean, if you go from I think he came into the league the year after Bird Magic, so that'd be like the 80. No, he won the championship. 81, 82 is his first year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. If you go from 81, 82 to like 91, 92, I mean, it would be Magic, Bird, Mike, and who you got ahead of Isaiah after that? Like, who you got ahead of Isaiah after that in that time?
Well, it would have to be a big man, right? It would have
Moses
to be
Malone?
somebody like Moses, yeah.
Okay, you still got a slot left. That's what I'm saying. You got a slot left still. So even if you go Moses, what you going? You can't go Akeem. It's too early.
Akeem was pretty great early, but I agree with you. In the 80s, that was Isaiah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to say this again. Isaiah had a season where he averaged 21 points and 14 assists. That's not normal. Has anybody else done it?
Ryan Gillum says, I heard some of y'all old stuff. Coop sounds like the Southern Nas, and Mike, you sound kind of like Andre. So I know you guys still got some heat. I don't know what I rap like now.
Me neither.
LP says, it's Steph. The game's evolved. CP3 is not winning. Mr. Miller with the super chat says, when you start your Patreon, I will consider doing a 96 versus 98 versus, or any 2 years of your choice. I think that's a great idea to do a year versus, because that would be idea. That would be so unexpected. I like the 96, 98. I could take 98. I like taking the underdog, per se.
You do. I don't know why. I would not do that if I was you.
It's challenging. Jay
you got it dark and hell is hot on your side, don't you?
I do. That was the first one that popped in my head.
You got capital punishment.
And I got
you got moment of truth.
Yeah, I do. I wouldn't want to give away too much of my game.
That's some of my favorite. That's some of my favorite rap stuff right there.
I could go Lost Ones with Lauryn Hill. You know. Jay Short with the super chat says MJ was 1-3 against the Pistons. The 90 was weak at shooting guard. John Starks was his biggest rival. MJ's great, but let's not exaggerate. Again, I think when we talk about MJ's game and who was guarding him, we could look at Kobe, right? And what Kobe was able to do against the people that were guarding him. Now, do you honestly think Kobe having his way with all the defenders we've seen him have his way with, think Michael Jordan wouldn't have done the same thing?